Senator Cotton, your take, and where do you think we are in the process?
Well, I think we've taken an important first step last week in the Senate by passing that budget and sending it to the House. You heard the president just a few moments ago talking about the need for unity. We obviously have some differences of opinion here on this or that issue, along with 50 or two other of my colleagues as well. But on this, we're all unified around the need to not just extend the 2017 tax cuts, but to improve them with some of the ideas that the president campaigned on, that we all campaigned on.
No tax tips,
exactly,
overtime, Social Security.
Secure our border. It's not just a security issue. It's also a quality of life issue in your communities, because illegal migrants put strain on schools and hospitals and other public services, making sure that we're safe abroad as well by funding our military and getting the price of energy down, whether it's what you pay for gas at the pump or your electricity. That's the goals that unite all of us. That's what we came together around last week with Lindsey and John Thune's leadership, and I think that's what Mike Johnson is going to have in the House later this week.
Senator Scott.
To me, this is the beginning of the blue-collar company.
Sean, I think Americans would prevail because I trust American workers and businesses to compete and win against anyone in the world. But the point you're making, I think, is very important about the national security aspects of these tariffs, especially as it relates to China. You mentioned a couple things there. Basic pharmaceuticals like acetaminophen or ibuprofen, antibiotics, and semiconductors. We're way too dependent on China for those. We're also too dependent on Taiwan, which makes 60% of the world's semiconductors, 90% of the world's advanced
semiconductors. That company committed $100 billion just by the threat of
That's
tariffs.
what we want. We want to get redundant, resilient capacity here in the United States. So whatever might happen in a conflict in the Western Pacific with Taiwan, we know that we have semiconductors which are vital to the modern electronic digital economy. I think one of the best things President Trump has done in the tariff announcement is what he's done with China. Yes. Not just starting with 20%, adding 34%, threatening them that if they retaliated, he would do more, which they've done. He's moved it now to another 50%. And he's closed the de minimis loophole, which allowed companies like Temu and Shein to exploit American businesses to ship goods here that are the cheap junk that John Kennedy was joking about earlier, without paying any tariff whatsoever. So I think that's part of the most important thing President Trump has done in these tariffs.
When we come back.
Yeah, I don't know how the president could be any more clear. He said repeatedly since he took office.
But you're on the Intel committee. You know a lot more than I do.
Well, he said repeatedly that Iran's not going to have a nuclear weapon. He's been saying it for 10 years. We've all been saying it for as long as we've been in public office. He wants to give them the path to a diplomatic deal like Libya had in 2003.
In the public domain, the read is they are close. They are months.
They're very close, not just to getting to the enriched uranium they need, but a delivery system, and not just for Israel, but for the United States. They're probably 2 or 3 years. I don't want to start a war, but I don't trust these people. If they get it, I think they'll use it, and we'll have a modern-day Holocaust. Does everyone agree with that? There's only 2 or 3 years from a missile that could hit us.
What's that, Senator?
There are only 2 or 3 years probably from a missile that could hit the United States as well. So it's not just a threat to our friends in Israel, but to the United States itself.
I got 30 seconds.